Hi everyone, this is part 2 to a video we just released. Our last video we went over kind of more the general shapes that you would see in stones. This video we're going to have some different shapes as well, but kind of go over more of the different cuts and cutting styles of stones. So these first group of stones we got over here, these are all considered faceted stones. So a facet is that going to be hard to pick up, but that little bits of angled cuts that you're going to see on these stones here. So every different little angle, that's a facet. Facets can come in different shapes as well. So like this one here, they are more of a square on top. A lot of them are going to be more of a triangle shape or a kite shape to get that facet. And then even differences between faceted stones. This oval here is pretty standard what you're going to see, but the round next to it has a lot more facets on the bottom of the stone or the pavilion of the stone and gives it a much different look. So this oval kind of looks a little more clear, whereas that round you're seeing a lot more facets going through. Next to it, this cushion shaped stone we have here would be a checkerboard top. That's where instead of having a nice flat table facet in the center, we're getting those little squares all throughout the stone. And our last one we'll touch on here is the step cut. So it has long rectangular facets and then quite a few less facets than some of these first ones we touched on. This next group we got that we're going to talk about here, these are all cabochon stones. So typically cabochon should be nice and smooth polish across the whole stone. They're either going to have a flat back like most of these ones I got up front, or this one I have in the back here actually has kind of a bulged back. They really do that just to save the weight on the stone. These flat back ones are a little bit easier for the jeweler to set into a piece. But cabochons, usually you're going to see them in ovals or rounds, but you can get some other shapes too, like this pear shape, or this one's kind of more of a free form. Cabochons, depending on the stone, you're going to see some where they're called doublets or triplets. And what a doublet means is it'll have kind of a base for the actual stone. So the base will either be a black stone or a white stone, depending on what they're going for. And then you would have the base, the stone. Triplet would be if they have a glass top on that. What that does is kind of protects the stone. So doublet has 2 layers, triplet has 3. We also have some other stones over here. So this one might look like a standard square cushion cut shape, but it actually is a kind of an artisan cutting style on it. So it has these kind of little loops in there, and then even the bottom of the stone kind of goes in, goes out. Kind of gives it a different overall look than some of these faceted stones we got over there. This would be called a briolette. So a little bit more of a pear shape, but it is faceted on, excuse my hands there, but faceted on both sides, and then has a hole drilled through it up here. So it can either dangle on an earring or be beaded. Here we have a carved stone. So either call them carvings or whatever you want to call them there, but you can be very unique and artistic with those. And then these ones we got here are, trade just calls them fancy shape, fancy cut stones. But you get a little more artistic with them. You're not going to see the standard shapes. So like this one is kind of a double triangle, a couple trapezoids there, and some free form cuts over here. And these can be faceted, cabochoned, however you want to do them. And then lastly I'll touch on is beads. So obviously just drill a hole all the way through the stone, and you have a nice string going all the way through. And that's all I got to touch on today, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.